Yeah, hi there and welcome to the shop. Just going to answer some of the questions I have them scribbled up here under the camera on the Stormy Archer 3-speed. I'm getting an awful lot of questions and problems, troubleshooting problems. So we're going to, just answer some of the troubleshooting problems. Now the first one was the when I pedal uphill and put pressure on it, it skips. And something I actually didn't think about for a long time since I was a child. So and when I bike, I just do it naturally, right? What I do is I turn the bike around, go downhill, switch to first, and then go back uphill. I was testing one just a while back. So what you don't want to put force on these Stormy Archer 3-speed hubs in first gear. You don't want to put force on them at all. You want to change lightly pedaling, not pedaling. Or like when we were kids, we were told to pedal backwards so we wouldn't put force on the gears and ruin them. So that was our parents' trick in making sure we didn't do it. So don't pressure the pedals or put stress on the gears, right? Turn around, go downhill, change to first, turn around and go uphill again. And it's great fun, It's part of the design of the bike and the way things work. So there you go. The next question. Bench tests. When you bench test one of these hubs and you stick it in the bench and you pull the chain, you can feel a slight difference, but you won't feel very much at first. It's hard to tell it on the bike because it's very minimal. So bench testing these and pulling the chain up and down when the chain has to be exactly set in second is an interesting concept which I get messages about and emails and that about all the time. But you can feel it a bit, the kind of the click click, but at first you won't feel much at all. You won't be too sure whether it's working or not until you put it on the bike and you bike along. And even then, sometimes with these bikes it's hard to tell that it's actually switched. So, but there you go. Interesting question by a guy actually. So next question was the famous indicator pin, the adjustment pin I call it. Indicator pin, the one that goes in the hub and has a little chain on it. Now this has to be set to factory specs, and to do that you must adjust your gears with the pin in second place, and it has to be right at the end of the smooth part. You'll see it in my video, one of my videos, and if you adjust it to that and then lock the nut, it should work. There you go. Now, next question. I adjust it to your factory specs, but it's still skipping. Right? Check your coax cable, the cable wrapped around the aircraft cable, really, the bicycle aircraft cable. There's coax wrapped around it, right? Now that comes down your bike and it goes into an end piece. That end piece must be locked in place when you're ready to adjust to second gear. So that anchor point is really important, because if you don't anchor it, it's going to move, and there's no point in your gears adjustment's going to be moving around the place. That has to be solid in place and anchored. And also make sure your cable at the top of the steering wheel has enough arch so that when you turn you don't pull the cable tight, which can affect it as well. All right, simple. Now what's my next question here? I've already said the cables can't be tight at the handlebars. Okay. Oh, the famous one, my hub is seized. Now I use WD-40 and I put it in the oil cap and I flush it full of it and leave it for 24 hours. Try to drain it out as much as I can and then flush it a second time. Now these, a lot of these hubs will loosen out and bounce back, but leave it for 24 hours in the hub. Don't rush it. There is no rushing the rust inhibitor from kind of soaking in and cleaning that out. So put it in the hub, leave it for 24 hours, come back, try to get as much as you can out and wash it out with, you can wash it out with white spirits and then re-oil it again, and you know, a lot of them start working after this. I'm not saying every single one of them will work, but I've got an awful lot of people that have spec setting that solved their problems. So flushing it out is a great idea. And then when you're done, you know, there used to be these thinner oils, like 3-in-1 was actually recommended for these hubs. So get a little bit of a thinner oil when you're putting it in. I only know the 3-in-1 from when I was young, so there we go. Next question. Oh yes, the gear shifters at the top of your handlebars. They nearly always seem to be working. Now if you have one that has a problem or is bust, your best bet is to get a second-hand one or a replacement part for that. And that's also with the indicator pin. If the indicator pin is damaged or the lock nut is stripped or whatever, or cross-threaded, is the best thing is to get another part for that, or second-hand part. Down at a co-op bike store or something, often they have them. Or, you know, like look on eBay and see if they got parts floating around. Sometimes they do. But if you go to these bike stores around your place, there'll be some co-op or person that has these older bikes and they'll give you a part. Okay, that's a gear shifter. Okay, somebody had a Paul spring inside the shifter. Like I had it as well. Fly out, you lose it, or it busts, right? You can take a spring and rebend a spring piece for these yourself, and it'll work fine. So, you know, when you're taking it apart, be careful because they flick out and they're hard to find. And but you can make these and put them in, but put both in. Don't put just one in and start belting away. You know, put your hub back together with all the parts that were there in the very beginning. Don't try to cut corners. What's the last one? I had the pedaling with force, which was interesting. Now, just to finish this up, what's great about these bikes is the sound of pedaling along, and when you stop pedaling you get this click, 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 and that's the pause inside. But it is lovely, and it is a great feeling. It just brings you back in time to when you were young. Anyways, I hope some of these Q&As, questions and answers, help you with your vintage bike, and you know, just enjoy the ride. Cheers.